Morning, everyone. It's day number 5 of our daily devotion in the YouVersion Bible app, Discovering Hope During Catastrophe. This morning, we are spending our final day answering the question, why do things like this happen? Why do pandemics and hard things come into our lives? And how do we find hope during these times? And this morning, we had an opportunity to read John chapter 9, verses 1 through 7, in which there's a story of a guy who has been blind since he was born. And within the Jewish culture, there was this belief that if there was any type of physical ailment, it had to do with a person's sin or their parents' sin. Like it was always a sin issue when it comes to why do bad things happen to anyone? Why do hard circumstances come upon anyone? It was always sin, it had to be sin. It's always a punishment from God. And Jesus kind of flips that on its head. A couple days ago, we talked about Job's story, and we saw that wasn't the case for Job. And once again, Jesus makes it clear that his blindness was not because of his sin or his parents' sin. As it says here in verse 3, Jesus answered, "This happened so the power of God could be seen in him." When bad things happen like this, when pandemics come across, when the last 7 days that we've experienced here in America with all of these social injustices, there's so much negative that has come up. And sin is a problem in it. Sin is an issue in it. But there's the other side of the coin that we fail to look at. And it's this, is that God wants to display his love and his glory during times like this. And in fact, the greatest suffering, the greatest tragedy that's ever happened in our world is when Jesus Christ died and rose again. An unjust murder of a perfect person. And yet, the greatest thing that could ever happen to you and I happened because of the greatest tragedy that happened to Jesus. And so, why do things like this happen sometimes? Well, we don't know all the details behind it. But we do know this, is that no matter what the why is, and even though we don't understand the why every time, or most times for that matter, we can always look to God knowing that he wants to show his love and put his glory on display in those situations. And more times than not, he wants to use us, his church, and his people to display that love and show his glory to those around, just like he did with his son Jesus. People were in awe by the fact that Jesus healed this man who had been born blind from birth. And in the same way, we want people to be in awe of who God is and how much he loves them when we choose to show love and care and point people to the glory of God, when we respond with love and care during difficult circumstances, during pandemics, during social injustices, whatever it is, we have an opportunity to point people to the glory of God. Well, I hope this first week has been encouraging and hopeful for you. Love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Feel free to write those down as well. If you're getting some hope and inspiration from these daily devotions and through reading together, make sure you click the subscribe button so you get this video coming to you every single morning when it goes live. Thanks, church. Have a great weekend. Looking forward to starting on day number 6 this Monday together. It's going to be great. It's awesome devotion. Can't wait to keep going with it thus far. Have a great, great weekend.